Hello and welcome to Sleepless Wonders. Settle in comfortably. Tonight we journey together through the mists of time to places and civilizations that existed long before recorded history. Let your body relax completely. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do, just listen and let these ancient mysteries carry you gently into peaceful sleep. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort with each word you hear. Our planet is old, 4.5 billion years old. And in that vast expanse of time, what do we really know? Human civilization, as we understand it, spans perhaps 10,000 years. But what came before? What civilizations rose and fell in the endless ages before writing, before memory, before our recorded history began? Tonight, we explore these questions, not to find definitive answers, but to wonder, to imagine, and to drift peacefully into sleep as we contemplate the beautiful mysteries of our ancient Earth. Let us begin our journey in southeastern Turkey at a place called Göbekli Tepe. Close your eyes and imagine standing on a wind-swept hill at sunrise. The air is cool and fresh. Before you stand massive stone pillars carved with intricate images of animals arranged in vast circular patterns. These pillars weigh up to 20 tons each. They were carved, transported, and erected with precision. And here's what makes this place extraordinary. It was built 11,600 years ago. That's 6,000 years before Stonehenge, 6,000 years before the first pyramids of Egypt. According to what we thought we knew, the people of that time were simple hunter-gatherers. They hadn't invented farming yet. They hadn't built cities. They lived in small groups, following animal herds, gathering plants, and yet somehow they created this. Dozens of these massive carved pillars, complex astronomical alignments, sophisticated artistic representations. Then, after using the site for perhaps 1,000 years, they buried it. Deliberately, carefully. They filled in their temple with dirt and walked away, preserving it perfectly for us to find 11,000 years later. Who were these people? How did they organize the labor? What knowledge did they possess? What drove them to create something so monumental, then hide it away? Breathe slowly as you contemplate this mystery. In and out. Let yourself sink deeper into relaxation. Some researchers suggest Göbekli Tepe wasn't the first. It might have been the last. Perhaps it was built by people trying to preserve knowledge from an even earlier time. A civilization we haven't yet discovered, or perhaps have forgotten. The stones stand silent, keeping their secrets, and as you picture them, bathed in moonlight, feel yourself drifting back through time. Let us travel now to the Mediterranean Sea. The year is 1901. Sponge divers are working near the Greek island of Antikythera when they discover an ancient shipwreck. Among the treasures they bring to the surface is a corroded lump of bronze and wood. It looks like nothing special. For decades, it sits in a museum, barely noticed. But then researchers begin to examine it more carefully. As they gently separate the pieces, clean away the corrosion, they discover something extraordinary. Gears, dozens of precisely crafted bronze gears fitted together in an intricate mechanism. This device, built over 2,000 years ago, is an analog computer. It could predict the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. It could forecast eclipses. It tracked the Olympic Games cycle. The level of miniaturization and precision wouldn't be seen again in human technology for over 1,000 years. Breathe deeply. Feel your body becoming heavier, more relaxed. How did ancient Greek craftsmen create such a device? The mathematics required were incredibly sophisticated. the engineering even more so. And here's the truly puzzling part. We have no record of similar devices, no mention in ancient texts, no other examples, just this one mechanism suggesting a level of technological achievement we never knew existed. Was this unique, or were such devices once common, with all the others lost to time? Were there workshops full of these analog computers, calculating the movements of the heavens? Were there even more advanced devices we haven't found? Picture the ancient craftsman carefully filing bronze gears by lamplight, the quiet concentration, the accumulated knowledge of geometry and astronomy, all of it lost when the ship sank, preserved by chance for us to wonder at 2,000 years later. From the Mediterranean, our journey takes us south, deep into the Sahara Desert. In the vast emptiness of Mauritania, there exists a geological formation so unusual, so perfectly circular, that it's visible from space, the Risha structure, sometimes called the Eye of the Sahara. Picture it from above. A massive, circular formation, nearly 50 kilometers across. Concentric rings like a target, etched into the earth. For years, scientists assumed it was an impact crater. But there's no evidence of impact. The rocks aren't fractured in the right way. There's no meteor debris. Current thinking suggests it's a deeply eroded geological dome, natural processes, wind and water, carving away softer rock to reveal these perfect circles. But its symmetry is remarkable, almost too perfect. And some wonder, could this be Atlantis? Let your breathing slow. In and out. Feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort. The Greek philosopher Plato wrote about Atlantis around 360 BCE. He described a great island civilization beyond the Pillars of Hercules with a capital city arranged in concentric circles, rings of land and water alternating. A sophisticated culture that vanished in a single day and night of catastrophe, sinking beneath the waves. The Risha structure matches this description in intriguing ways. Concentric circles, the right approximate size. It's in the west, as Plato described, and geological evidence shows this area of the Sahara was once much wetter. Perhaps thousands of years ago there was water here, lakes, rivers, perhaps the rings were filled with water. Could a civilization have existed here before the desert came? Before the knowledge of it faded into myth? We don't know. The desert keeps its secrets, the wind whispers across the ancient stones, and we can only wonder as we drift into sleep. Our next mystery comes from the year 1513. A Turkish admiral named Piri Reis creates a world map. It's beautifully drawn on gazelle skin parchment, showing the coasts of Europe, Africa, and the Americas. Nothing too unusual for that period of early exploration. But when modern researchers examined this map closely, they found something extraordinary. The map shows the coastline of Antarctica. Not the Antarctica we know, covered in ice kilometers thick, but Antarctica's true coastline beneath the ice, mountains, bays, rivers, features that wouldn't be confirmed by modern science until the 1950s, when sonar mapping technology could finally see through the ice. Let your eyelids grow heavy. Let your muscles release all tension. How could a map from 1513 show Antarctica's true coastline? The continent wasn't even officially discovered until 1820, 300 years later. And it's been covered in ice for thousands of years. Piri Reis himself noted on the map that he compiled it from about 20 source maps, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. Could those ancient maps have been copied from even older sources? Sources from a time when Antarctica was free of ice? When it could be explored and charted? Some researchers suggest this points to an ancient civilization with advanced seafaring and map-making capabilities. A people who sailed the world's oceans, charting every coastline during the last ice age when sea levels were lower and Antarctica was accessible. Others point to more conventional explanations, suggesting the map shows South America's coast distorted by the limitations of cartography at the time. But as you lie here, drifting towards sleep, imagine ancient ships sailing past icebergs, charting unknown coasts, their knowledge passed down through countless generations until it reached Piri Reis's hands. What else might those ancient maps have shown? What other lost knowledge might be hidden in the archives of the world, waiting to be rediscovered? Now we journey to Egypt, to the Giza Plateau, where 3 massive pyramids stand against the desert sky. You've seen them in pictures, perhaps, but pictures cannot convey their true scale, their precision, their mystery. The Great Pyramid of Khufu was built around 4,500 years ago. It contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 80 tons. The base covers 13 acres, and despite its massive size, it's oriented to true north with an accuracy of 1/15 of a single degree. Breathe slowly. Feel yourself becoming heavier, sinking deeper into your bed. The precision is extraordinary. The 4 sides of the base are each about 230 meters long, and they vary by less than 5 centimeters. That's an error of less than 0.02%. The corners are almost perfect right angles within 3 arc minutes of 90 degrees. How did they achieve this? We know the ancient Egyptians were skilled engineers, but the level of precision seems to exceed what should be possible with the tools we think they had. Copper chisels, stone hammers, wooden rollers. How do you cut and transport millions of multi-ton blocks? How do you place them with millimeter precision? Some researchers have proposed that the angles and dimensions of the pyramids encode advanced mathematical knowledge. The ratio of the height to the base perimeter approximates pi. The structure incorporates phi, the golden ratio. The distances seem to relate to the size and motion of Earth itself. Is this intentional? Were the pyramids designed to be a message, a mathematical codex written in stone? Or are these patterns simply what emerges when you build a massive, stable structure? And then there's the question that has fascinated people for centuries. Could the ancient Egyptians have had help? Not necessarily from extraterrestrials, though that's one interpretation, but perhaps from an earlier lost civilization, a culture with advanced knowledge that helped or taught the pyramid builders? Picture the Giza Plateau at night. The stars brilliant in the clear desert air. The pyramids aligned with Orion's belt. Sirius rising over the Nile. The whole complex is an astronomical observatory in stone pointing to the heavens. What were they trying to tell us? What did they know? Let yourself drift deeper as you contemplate these silent sentinels of stone. From Egypt, we travel across the ocean to Peru, to a desert plateau where the ancient Nazca people created something unique in human history. The Nazca Lines. Imagine looking down from an airplane window. Below you, stretching across hundreds of square kilometers of desert, are enormous designs, geometric shapes, spirals, trapezoids, and animals. A spider 90 meters long, a monkey, a hummingbird with a wingspan of 90 meters, a condor, all created by removing the reddish pebbles from the desert surface to reveal the lighter ground beneath. These lines are huge. Some of the straight lines run for 30 kilometers without deviating. The shapes are precise, and they're old, created between 500 BCE and 500 CE. Close your eyes, feel your breath slow and deepen. Here's the puzzling thing. These designs can only truly be appreciated from the air. From the ground, they're just marks in the desert. You can't perceive the overall shape. But from above, from an airplane or balloon, the patterns are clear and magnificent. Why did the Nazca people create images that only beings in the sky could see? They had no aircraft, no balloons, as far as we know. So why? Some researchers suggest they're astronomical markers aligned with celestial events. Others think they're religious pathways meant to be walked in ceremony. The Nazca people might have believed their gods lived in the sky, and these were offerings visible only to divine eyes. And some wonder, could the Nazca people have had help from visitors? Teachers from elsewhere who could see from above? Is that why they created these aerial designs? We don't know. The Nazca civilization left no written records. They created these magnificent lines, then vanished, leaving us only questions and wonder. Picture yourself floating above the desert, looking down at the ancient hummingbird, its wings spread wide. The sun is setting, the shadows deepen, and you drift into peaceful sleep. Our journey now takes us beneath the waves to the waters off the coast of Yonaguni, the westernmost island of Japan. In 1987, a dive instructor named Kihachiro Aratake discovered something remarkable on the seafloor, 25 meters beneath the surface. Massive stone structures, terraces, ramps, steps, flat platforms, all arranged in ways that seem almost architectural. The largest structure is about 50 meters long and 20 meters wide. There are right angles, straight lines, what appear to be carved faces in the rock. Let your body relax completely, every muscle soft and loose. The structures are made of sandstone and mudstone. And here's where it gets interesting. Geological analysis suggests that this area was above water during the last ice age, when sea levels were much lower. It would have been submerged around 10,000 years ago when the glaciers melted and the seas rose. So if these are man-made structures, they would be at least 10,000 years old. That's before the pyramids, before Göbekli Tepe, before any civilization we currently recognize. Most geologists who have examined the site believe it's a natural formation. Sandstone can fracture along straight lines due to geological stress. The right angles and terraces could be the result of natural erosion and tectonic activity. Nature can create remarkably regular patterns, but others aren't so sure. Some of the features seem too precise, too architectural. There are marks that might be tool marks, angles that seem carved rather than fractured. If it is man-made, then who built it? What civilization existed 10,000 years ago with the ability to work stone on this scale? And what else lies beneath the ocean in places we haven't yet explored? The ocean covers 70% of Earth's surface. Most of it has never been mapped in detail. What cities, what civilizations might be down there, swallowed by the rising seas at the end of the Ice Age? Picture yourself descending through blue water, past schools of fish, down to these mysterious stone structures. Seaweed sways in the current, light filters down from above, and you sink deeper, deeper into sleep. From underwater, we travel to Zhejiang province in China, to a small village called Longyu. In 1992, a local villager decided to pump the water from a pond. It was thought to be bottomless, but the villager was curious. As the water drained away, something emerged, the entrance to a cave, but not a natural cave, a massive, artificially carved chamber carved from solid siltstone. The ceiling soared overhead, held up by pillars. The walls were decorated with chiseling marks, precise and regular. And this wasn't just one cave. 24 of these massive chambers have been found so far, covering about 30,000 square meters. The largest chamber has a floor area of over 2,000 square meters and is 30 meters tall. Breathe deeply, in and out. Let yourself drift. Here's the mystery. No one knows who carved these caves or why or when. There's no mention of them in local historical records, despite the massive amount of work required. Researchers estimate that nearly 1 million cubic meters of stone were removed. Where did all that stone go? There's no evidence of it anywhere nearby. The carving marks suggest hand tools, chisels perhaps, but the precision is remarkable. The pillars are symmetrically placed, the angles are accurate, the whole complex appears to be carefully designed. And the strangest part, there's almost no debris. So when you carve 1,000,000 cubic meters of stone, you create 1,000,000 cubic meters of stone chips, dust, and rubble. Where is it? How was it removed? Why was it removed? Some have suggested these caves were used for storing grain, or as tombs, or as military hideouts, but none of these explanations fully fits. The caves are too elaborate, too precisely made for simple storage, too empty to have been tombs, and there would be some historical record if they'd been used militarily, so they remain a mystery. Massive underground chambers, their purpose lost to time, emerging from beneath the water after centuries of silence. Picture yourself walking through these caves, your footsteps echo. The light of your torch flickers on the carved walls. The air is cool and still, and you feel yourself sinking into the quiet darkness, into deep, peaceful sleep. We journey now to Costa Rica, to the Diquís Delta. In the 1930s, workers clearing jungle for banana plantations began finding large stone spheres, perfectly round, smooth. Some small enough to hold, others over 2 meters in diameter, weighing 15 tons. Hundreds of these spheres have been found. They're made from gabbro, an extremely hard, igneous rock. Shaping them into perfect spheres would require sophisticated knowledge of geometry and stone working. Let your breathing deepen. Feel yourself becoming more and more relaxed. The spheres were created by the Diquís culture between 300 and 1500 CE, but we don't know how they made them or why. Many were originally arranged in patterns aligned with astronomical directions, but the patterns were disrupted when the spheres were moved or destroyed during agricultural development. Some researchers suggest they were markers of important locations or astronomical calendars or symbols of authority. Their perfection suggests they were important, worthy of enormous effort. The precision is remarkable. Some of the spheres are within 2 centimeters of perfect roundness despite being 2 meters across. How did they achieve this? Did they have tools we don't know about? Or did they spend hundreds of hours working each sphere using only stone tools and incredible patience? The Diquís people left no written records. They couldn't tell us why the spheres were important. We can only wonder at these perfect stone orbs scattered through the jungle, silent witnesses to a lost purpose. Picture one of these spheres covered in moss and vines. Sunlight filters through the jungle canopy. Birds call in the distance, and you drift away into restful sleep. Our next mystery comes from Iraq. In 1936, near modern-day Baghdad, archaeologists excavating a Parthian site discovered some unusual clay jars. Inside each jar was a copper cylinder, and inside the cylinder was an iron rod. The components were sealed with asphalt. When modern researchers examined these jars, they realized something fascinating. If you fill the jar with an acidic liquid like vinegar or wine, the device produces an electric current. It functions as a primitive battery. Close your eyes, let your body sink deeper into your bed. These jars are about 2,000 years old. That's centuries before humans supposedly understood electricity. So what were they for? Some researchers believe they were used for electroplating, putting a thin layer of one metal onto another using electrical current. If you connect the battery to a metal object in the right solution, you can coat it with gold or silver. Others are skeptical. They suggest the jars were simply vessels for storing scrolls, and the battery effect is coincidental. The jars might have been for some other purpose we don't understand. But if they were batteries, it suggests the ancients understood electricity far earlier than we thought. What else might they have known? What other knowledge was lost when the Library of Alexandria burned? When Rome fell? When civilizations collapsed and their learning scattered to the winds? Throughout history, knowledge has been lost and rediscovered. The ancient Greeks calculated the circumference of Earth. The Romans built concrete that lasted thousands of years, using techniques we're only now beginning to understand. Medieval metallurgists created Damascus steel of a quality we've struggled to replicate. How much have we forgotten? How much do we still need to rediscover? Breathe slowly as you contemplate these questions. Let them carry you gently towards sleep. Let us travel back to ancient Sumer, to the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, where human civilization is said to have begun. The Sumerians kept detailed records written in cuneiform on clay tablets. Among these records is the Sumerian King List, a catalogue of Sumerian kings and the length of their reigns. The list begins with an unusual phrase: after the kingship descended from heaven, the kingship was in Eridu. Then it lists the early kings and their reign lengths. And here's where it becomes strange. The first kings supposedly ruled for thousands of years, tens of thousands in some cases. One king's reign is listed as 43,200 years. Let yourself relax completely, breathing slowly, deeply. After a great flood, according to the list, the reign lengths become more reasonable, a few hundred years. Then, as the list moves closer to historical times, the reigns become humanly plausible. Decades, years that match other historical records. So what do we make of this? The ancient Sumerians were skilled mathematicians and astronomers. They weren't naive or primitive. Why would they record such impossibly long reigns? Some scholars suggest these are symbolic numbers representing dynasties rather than individual rulers. Or perhaps the numbers represent something we don't understand. A different counting system. A mythological time rather than historical time. Others wonder if there might be a kernel of truth. Perhaps the Sumerians were preserving very ancient oral histories, stories passed down for so long that details were lost or exaggerated. Stories of real rulers from before the flood, from a time so distant that only fragments remained. And what flood were they talking about? Geological evidence suggests there was indeed a massive flood in Mesopotamia around 2900 BCE, but the flood in the King List seems older, more primal. The flood that other cultures also remember, the universal deluge found in mythologies around the world. Did something happen far back in human history? Some catastrophe so immense that every culture remembered it? And before that catastrophe, were there civilizations we've lost all trace of? The clay tablets remain, their cuneiform wedges pressed into clay thousands of years ago, and we can only wonder as we drift into sleep. We return now to Göbekli Tepe to explore more of its mysteries. In Enclosure D, researchers have found something particularly intriguing. The pillars are decorated with carved animals: a fox, a scorpion, a vulture, a snake, each precisely rendered. Some researchers suggest these carvings represent constellations, a kind of Stone Age star map encoded in stone. The animals would represent the zodiac as it appeared 11,000 years ago, before the slow wobble of Earth's axis shifted the positions of the stars. Feel your eyelids growing heavy. Let sleep begin to embrace you. If this interpretation is correct, it means the builders of Göbekli Tepe had sophisticated astronomical knowledge. They understood the movement of the stars. They could track the precession of the equinoxes, a cycle that takes 26,000 years to complete. Why would they encode this knowledge in stone? Perhaps they were trying to preserve it, to create a permanent record that would survive whatever was coming, a kind of time capsule buried for future generations. One pillar in particular has drawn attention. Pillar 43, also called the Vulture Stone. The carvings show what researchers believe might be a comet impact, a collection of symbols that could represent a catastrophic astronomical event. And if they're right about the dating, it corresponds to a real event, the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. About 12,800 years ago, something dramatic happened to Earth's climate. Temperatures plunged, the ice sheets that had been retreating began to advance again. This cold period lasted for over 1,000 years. Many large mammals went extinct. Human populations struggled. Some scientists believe this was caused by a comet or asteroid impact, though this remains controversial. But if the vulture stone depicts such an event, then the builders of Göbekli Tepe witnessed it. They saw the comet, they survived the catastrophe, and they carved a warning or a memory into stone. Whether this interpretation is correct or not, one thing is clear. The people who built Göbekli Tepe were not simple hunter-gatherers. They had knowledge, organization, purpose. They were sophisticated observers of the natural world. And then they buried their achievement and disappeared from history. What happened to them? Where did they go? Did their knowledge survive, passed down through oral tradition until it reached the Sumerians, the Egyptians, the ancient cultures we do know about? Breathe deeply. Let yourself sink into the ancient mystery. Our journey takes us now to West Africa, to the Dogon people of Mali. The Dogon have a rich oral tradition, and within that tradition is something remarkable. Detailed astronomical knowledge about the star Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in our night sky, but Sirius is actually a binary system. It has a companion star, Sirius B, which is a white dwarf, incredibly dense. 1 teaspoon of its matter would weigh tons, but Sirius B is very faint. It wasn't discovered by Western astronomy until 1862, and it couldn't be photographed until 1970 using powerful telescopes. And yet, the Dogon have known about Sirius B for centuries, perhaps much longer. They call it Potolo, and they describe it accurately. They know it's small and dense. They know it orbits Sirius A. They even knew the orbital period. Let your breathing slow. Feel yourself drifting. How did they know this? The star is invisible to the naked eye. You need a telescope to see it. Yet the Dogon describe it with remarkable accuracy. Some researchers suggest they learned about it from Western visitors in the early 20th century, before the tradition was recorded. But the Dogon elders insisted the knowledge was ancient, passed down through their priestly traditions for generations. Others propose more exotic explanations. The Dogon themselves say the knowledge was given to them by the Nommo, beings who came from Sirius in a spinning, descending arc. Were these visitors from elsewhere? Or is this a mythological explanation for knowledge gained through some other means? Perhaps ancient astronomers were more skilled than we give them credit for. Perhaps there were ways to observe the heavens that we've forgotten. Or perhaps the Dogon had contact with an earlier civilization that had advanced astronomical knowledge that we don't know. The mystery remains. The Dogon continue their traditions, and Sirius continues to shine in the night sky, keeping its secrets. Picture the star, brilliant and blue-white, and orbiting it, invisible, the dense white dwarf. Ancient knowledge encoded in stories, passed down through generations. And you drift among the stars, into peaceful sleep. Now we explore one of the more controversial theories. Some researchers have suggested that ancient texts from India describe nuclear warfare. The texts in question are from the Mahabharata and other Sanskrit epics, written down around 400 BCE, but describing events said to be much older. These texts describe weapons of tremendous power. The Brahmastra, a weapon that could destroy entire armies, descriptions of explosions as bright as thousands of suns, mushroom-shaped clouds, warriors whose hair and nails fell out after exposure, entire cities reduced to ash. Breathe slowly. Let yourself relax deeply. Could these be descriptions of nuclear weapons? Some have suggested that an ancient civilization achieved nuclear technology, then destroyed itself in warfare. They point to sites like Mohenjo-Daro, an ancient Indus Valley city where some claim to find evidence of extreme heat and radiation, fused glass, skeletons showing signs of sudden, intense heat. However, mainstream archaeology finds no evidence of nuclear warfare in the ancient world. The evidence at Mohenjo-Daro can be explained by conventional archaeological interpretations. The city was likely abandoned due to changing river patterns and decline, not nuclear holocaust. The descriptions in the ancient texts, while vivid, can be understood as poetic exaggeration. Ancient warfare with conventional weapons was devastating enough. Burning cities, clouds of smoke, the trauma of battle, these could inspire the epic language we find in the texts. But the stories persist in the realm of mystery and speculation. They remind us that ancient people witnessed power and destruction that awed them, that seemed beyond comprehension, and they tried to describe it in the most powerful language they knew. Whether nuclear warfare or not, something profound is embedded in these stories. A memory of catastrophe. A warning about the power of human knowledge when turned to destruction. Let these thoughts drift away as you sink deeper into rest. In 1938, according to some accounts, an archaeological expedition led by Chi Pu-te explored caves in the Bayanhar Mountains of China, near Tibet. There they allegedly found ancient graves containing small, unusual skeletons with large skulls. On the cave walls were carved pictures of beings with round heads, along with representations of the sun, moon, and stars. Most intriguingly, they reportedly found hundreds of stone discs, each about 30 centimeters in diameter with a hole in the center. On each disc was carved a spiral groove, like a phonograph record, filled with tiny hieroglyphs. Let your body relax completely, every muscle soft. The story goes that it took decades to decipher these hieroglyphs. When finally translated, the text told an extraordinary tale. It described beings called the Dropa who came from the stars. Their spacecraft crashed in the mountains. They were stranded, unable to repair their ship. The local people, the Ham, were initially fearful, but eventually understood the Dropa were peaceful. It's a fascinating story. But here's the thing, there's no credible evidence that the Dropa stones actually exist. No photographs that can be verified, no museum has them. The supposed translations have never been properly documented. Most researchers believe the entire story is a hoax or urban legend that grew in the telling, but the story persists because it speaks to something we wonder about. Are we alone? Have we been visited? Did ancient peoples have contact with beings from elsewhere? The universe is vast. Billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars. Many of those stars have planets. It seems statistically unlikely that we're the only intelligent life. But the distances are immense. Even traveling at the speed of light, it would take years to reach even the nearest stars. So we're left with mysteries and questions, stories and speculation, and the endless wonder of looking up at the night sky and asking, is anyone out there? Breathe deeply. Feel yourself drifting among the stars. We return to Egypt, to Giza, to explore one more mystery. There's a legend reported by various sources over the years of a hidden chamber beneath the Sphinx, the Hall of Records, a library of knowledge from a civilization before Egypt, preserved in a sealed chamber waiting to be discovered. The story appears in the readings of Edgar Cayce, the American mystic, who claimed the hall contained records from Atlantis. It appears in ancient Egyptian traditions recorded by historians. The idea persists that somewhere beneath the plateau there's a chamber full of scrolls or tablets waiting. Close your eyes, let sleep wash over you. Modern ground-penetrating radar has detected anomalies beneath the Sphinx, cavities, chambers, but Egypt's government has been cautious about excavation. The Sphinx is a precious, fragile monument. Any digging could damage it irreparably. So the chambers remain unexplored. Perhaps they're natural caves, perhaps they're empty tombs, perhaps they contain something extraordinary. We don't know. But the legend reminds us of a deeper truth. Throughout history, libraries have been lost. The Library of Alexandria burned, taking countless scrolls with it. The Library of Baghdad was destroyed by the Mongols. The Maya codices were burned by Spanish conquistadors. So much knowledge lost forever. What did those libraries contain? What discoveries, what insights, what achievements of human thought are gone? If there was an earlier sophisticated civilization, what knowledge did they leave behind? And if there is a hall of records, what would we learn if we found it? And these are the questions that persist. The hope that somewhere, somehow, we might recover what was lost, that we might connect with the people of the deep past and learn what they knew. For now, the Sphinx keeps its secrets. The paws extend over the sand. The face looks east toward the sunrise. Patient, silent, eternal. And you too can rest now. Let the mysteries remain mysteries. Let yourself drift into deep, peaceful sleep. As you drift deeper into rest, let us look up. Not at the distant stars, but at Earth's closest companion, the Moon. The Moon is unusual. It's abnormally large for a satellite. Most moons in our solar system are tiny compared to their planets. But our Moon is a quarter of Earth's diameter. It's so large that Earth and Moon are sometimes called a binary planet system. And the Moon is less dense than it should be, as if it's partly hollow. When seismometers were placed on the Moon during the Apollo missions and meteorites struck the surface, the Moon rang like a bell. The vibrations lasted for hours, much longer than they should in a solid body. Let your breathing deepen, in and out. Some have wondered if the Moon could be artificial. A spacecraft, perhaps, or a station placed in orbit long ago. It's an exotic idea, unsupported by evidence, but it captures the imagination. The Moon's orbit is nearly circular, which is unusual. It's positioned at exactly the right distance to create perfect solar eclipses, where the Moon precisely covers the Sun. A cosmic coincidence, or something more? Most scientists agree the Moon formed about 4.5 billion years ago, likely when a Mars-sized object collided with early Earth. The debris from this impact coalesced into the Moon. This explains most of the Moon's properties, including its composition and orbit. But mysteries remain. Why is the far side so different from the near side? Why are there magnetic anomalies, despite the Moon having no global magnetic field? What caused the strange patterns of Maria, the dark plains formed by ancient volcanic activity? Picture the Moon, silver and serene, hanging in the night sky. Humanity has walked on its surface. We've brought back rocks, we've studied it for centuries, and yet it still holds secrets. As you drift towards sleep, imagine floating in space, looking down at the Moon's cratered surface. Silent, ancient, mysterious. We descend once more beneath the waves, this time to the coast of Gujarat, India. In Hindu tradition, Dwarka was the legendary city of Lord Krishna, a magnificent capital that sank into the sea after Krishna's death. For centuries, it was considered pure mythology. But in the 1980s, marine archaeologists began exploring the waters off the coast of modern Dwarka. And they found something. Stone structures, walls, what appeared to be streets, anchors, artifacts. Let yourself sink deeper into relaxation. Every breath takes you deeper. The structures lie under 30 feet of water. They show signs of planning and construction. There are right angles, parallel walls, organized patterns. Carbon dating of artifacts suggests some structures could be 9,000 years old or more, though this remains disputed. If this is indeed an ancient city, it would have been built when the area was above water before sea levels rose at the end of the last ice age. It would make it one of the oldest human settlements ever discovered. The discovery is controversial. Some archaeologists believe these are natural rock formations, shaped by tides and currents into patterns that only seem architectural. Others argue that natural processes cannot explain all the features observed. The truth is, underwater archaeology is difficult, visibility is poor, currents shift sand and sediment, covering and uncovering structures. It's hard to distinguish between natural and artificial features when everything is eroded and covered in marine growth. But the site continues to be studied. More artifacts are found, more questions arise. Could this be the real Dwarka? Or is it some other ancient settlement lost to the sea that inspired the legends? Picture the underwater city. Fish swimming through ancient streets. Sunlight filtering down through the water, illuminating stone walls. Seaweed waving like flags in the current. And you, floating peacefully above it all, drifting deeper into sleep. As we near the end of our journey, let us contemplate the deepest mystery of all, ourselves. Where did we come from? How did we become who we are? The scientific consensus is clear. Humans evolved over millions of years from earlier primates through various stages: Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthals, and finally, Homo sapiens, modern humans, emerging in Africa about 300,000 years ago. Breathe slowly, feel your body completely at rest. But there are puzzles in the story. Around 70,000 years ago, something changed. Humans began creating art, sophisticated tools, complex language, abstract thought. We call this the cognitive revolution, but we don't fully understand what caused it. What switched on in the human brain? Was it a genetic mutation, a change in brain structure? Or did something else happen? Did we learn something, discover something? Were we taught by someone? And here's another puzzle. When we sequence DNA from ancient humans, we find traces of other species, Neanderthals, Denisovans, species we're only just discovering. Modern humans carry DNA from these cousins, meaning our ancestors interbred with them. We're not purely one species, we're a mixture. How many other human species existed? How many have we not yet discovered? And what happened to them all? Why did Homo sapiens survive when so many others didn't? Some researchers have noted that myths from around the world speak of sky people or gods who came down and mingled with humans. The Sumerian texts speak of the Anunnaki. The Bible mentions the Nephilim. Greek myths tell of gods taking human form. Are these purely mythological? Or could they contain distorted memories of encounters between different human species? When Homo sapiens met Neanderthals, to each other they must have seemed strange, almost, but not quite human. Different? Powerful? Perhaps even godlike? We don't know. The past is fragmentary. DNA can tell us some things, but not everything. Bones tell us about bodies, but not about thoughts, beliefs, or experiences. Let these questions fade away. You don't need answers right now. Just rest. As you rest peacefully, consider one final mystery. The universe is vast beyond comprehension. Billions of galaxies, trillions of stars, countless planets. Many of those planets must be capable of supporting life. And so, where is everyone? This is known as the Fermi paradox. If the universe is so vast and life seems so possible, why haven't we detected anyone? No radio signals, no visible megastructures, no signs of galactic civilizations, just silence. Let your mind drift among the stars as you contemplate this. Perhaps we're alone. Perhaps life is rarer than we think. Perhaps intelligence is even rarer. Perhaps the universe is filled with single-celled organisms, but very few make the leap to complex technological civilization. Or perhaps civilizations don't last long. Perhaps the same technology that allows radio broadcasts and space travel also creates weapons of mass destruction, environmental collapse, artificial intelligence gone wrong. Perhaps civilizations destroy themselves before they can spread to the stars. Or perhaps they're out there but we can't detect them. Perhaps they use communication methods we haven't discovered. Perhaps they're so advanced that we're invisible to them, like ants trying to comprehend the internet. Or perhaps they visited long ago. Perhaps the megalithic structures, the ancient mysteries we've explored tonight, are evidence of contact. Perhaps they came, observed, perhaps even taught, and then left. Perhaps they're still watching from a distance. We don't know. We scan the skies and listen for signals. We send messages into space and we wait. But as you lie here drifting into sleep, you can imagine distant worlds, alien skies, beings looking up at their stars, wondering the same things we wonder. Are we alone? Has anyone else wondered this? Is anyone listening? The universe keeps its secrets. And for now, that's okay. Let the mystery remain. Let yourself float in the vast cosmic silence, peaceful, quiet, still. Throughout our journey tonight, we've encountered a common thread. Ancient peoples all over the world building in stone, massive stones, precisely placed, carefully carved. Why stone? Stone is eternal. Stone survives fire, flood, earthquake. Stone outlasts wood, metal, paper, even language. If you want to send a message to the far future, stone is how you do it. Breathe deeply. Let your whole body relax into sleep. Perhaps that's what all these ancient structures are. Messages, the pyramids, Göbekli Tepe, the Nazca Lines, the megalithic monuments scattered across every continent. They're saying, we were here. We knew things, we achieved things, remember us. And we do remember, we stand before these monuments in awe. We wonder about the people who built them. We try to understand their knowledge, their purpose, their beliefs. In a way, they've achieved a kind of immortality. The individuals are gone, their names mostly forgotten, but their works remain. Silent teachers still instructing us thousands of years later. What messages are we leaving for the future? What will people 10,000 years from now find of our civilization? Will they understand our cities, our technology, our art? Or will we be as mysterious to them as these ancient builders are to us? Let these thoughts drift away like clouds. The past and future both dissolve. There's only now, only this moment, only sleep, peaceful and deep. Our journey through ancient mysteries comes to an end. We've traveled across continents and through millennia. We've descended beneath the ocean and looked up at the stars. We've contemplated lost civilizations and wondered about visitors from beyond. And what have we learned? Perhaps that mystery itself is valuable. Not everything needs to be explained. Not every question needs an answer. Sometimes the wondering is enough. Let your breathing be slow and natural, in and out. The ancient stones still stand. The pyramids still point to the stars. The ocean still covers its secrets. And the universe still spreads out in all directions, vast and mostly unknown. But you don't need to solve these mysteries tonight. You don't need to understand everything. You can simply rest, knowing that the world is bigger and stranger and more wonderful than we can fully comprehend. Feel yourself sinking deeper into your bed. Every muscle is relaxed, every thought is drifting away. You're safe, you're comfortable, you're ready for deep, restorative sleep. The mysteries will still be there tomorrow. The questions will wait. But for now, let it all go. Let yourself drift on the currents of sleep, like a leaf on water, peaceful, effortless, still. The ancient peoples looked up at the same stars we see. They wondered the same things we wonder. They built their monuments and lived their lives and returned to the earth. And now you, too, can rest. Deep breath in and slowly out. Let your eyes remain closed. Let your body be heavy and warm. Let sleep embrace you fully now. The journey is complete. The stories are told, and you can drift away into peaceful, deep, rejuvenating sleep. Rest well, traveler, rest well.